Hi. If you're here, you have got an interest in using video production in your classroom. Now, there are several things that you can do with video production in your classroom. There really is no limit to what you can do, but I'm going to give you some ideas of what could be done with it. Of course, you can do projects with your students, but I actually use it in my classroom to give me an extra set of hands. Whenever I record a lesson, because I do teach ukulele with my students, what I'll do is I'll pre-record because I've already got this lesson planned, okay? And I will put together a video showing them what I need them to learn during that class time. I can always pause the video to answer questions or do anything like that, but I put it on the screen so I don't miss any points. I don't go chasing rabbits and I've completely forgot where I was, because that does happen. You know, how many times have you been teaching a lesson and some kid asks you a question or says, hey, I did this weekend, or I lost a tooth, or something like that, and you've completely lost your train of thought while you were trying to teach. With you videoing your lesson beforehand, or at least segments of your lesson, you don't have to worry about that. You can have it already ready and then just pause it if something does happen like that. Somebody has a question, somebody wants to say something. But it enables me, while they're following along with me doing the lecture part in the front of the room via my Promethean board, I can go individually between my students and make sure that they've got their fingers in the correct position, or they're getting the information correctly. If they have a question, I can stop for that one student that needs a little extra individual attention. Now, for other teachers that teach other subjects, it also gives you something that you can upload to Schoology, and if a student has already seen it in the classroom, you've already worked on it with them in the classroom, but what if they're doing their homework and they can't remember a particular thing? If you've pre-recorded your lesson, you can upload it to Schoology. They can watch and find just that spot where they couldn't remember what they were supposed to be learning at that point. So there are lots of ways that you can use all of this technology inside of your classroom. Video production has been a lot of fun for me this year, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a few things that I'm going to teach you in this lesson. I'm going to teach you the basics. Then I'm also going to teach you of the actual video production, also what kind of equipment you're going to need, what kind of setup you need, from the very basic stuff to the stuff that's kind of nice to have. Then I'm also going to tell you about everything from just doing a basic video to having an open, to having a close that you might upload to YouTube if you want to, or even special effects, having a split screen, talking to yourself in the same screen, things like that. Good you, evil you, a do and a don't. There's so many different ways that you can use some of the special effects to add a little bit of fun, and your students are going to remember it even more, especially if you make them laugh or you've engaged them extra with video. So, without further ado, here we go. One more thing I forgot to say a few minutes ago. It's also perfect for when you have a substitute. You can choose a subject that you may not actually get to usually in the school year and create a video about that particular thing, including all sorts of little segments that you have curated and put together, including outside source video and things like that, and you have a completed lesson. All you have to do is provide the paper part, and your substitute teacher can hit play on a DVD, and there you are, still teaching your lesson even though you've had to be home. So this is also another very big benefit, because you'll have one lesson or two lessons that you've already built that if you're out for a certain amount of time for being sick, you have some lesson material that you're able to leave for a substitute, that the learning doesn't have to end because you're not there. There's another benefit. Okay, so for the basics of everything, all you really need is your MacBook, and I use an external microphone. Currently I'm using a Rode external microphone, and I am going to show you the difference between using the microphone inside of your computer and also using an external microphone, because this is what it sounds like when I have my external microphone plugged in, and this is what it sounds like when I don't have my external microphone plugged in. So as you can see, it's a really big difference, and the sound quality is much easier to plump up when you have the external microphone. In fact, let's get back to that. Okay, so this is what I'm actually seeing when I'm making my recording for you all. I like to use Photo Booth in order to make my big videos, the big parts of my videos, because I can see what's going on my screen. Like I said, I don't have to, I can check myself to see, you know, I can check all that. Plus, I can put up on, like I've got over here that you can see, here's my mouse, okay, you can see that I've got little notes that I can write for myself that can keep me on track of what I want to be able to express, and it can keep me on track for not, you know, chasing rabbits, even in my own videos, because if you don't have a true script and a nice little outline, what I've created is a good thing to be able to keep your mind on what you're doing. Okay, so here you can also see on here what I've got, you know, my techniques that I'm going to show you today. We've got the basic video, adding images, text, adding an open or close or extra video from another source, some fun special effects like an image slideshow, a movie trailer. You can hear the kids outside right now doing a split screen, Good Evil You, how to bump up your audio, how to improve your lighting, which I've just said something about that, making your video look better, which is in the program if you use iMovie to fix everything up, how to upload to Schoology and YouTube, audio edits, and also finding music and sound effects. So I've got a lot to cover. And at first I was thinking I didn't record because usually on this little dot right here is you hit a stop button, but I realized my stop button is up at the top. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to start a project. I've already opened my iMovie. Now you can go into your Launchpad, which I'm showing at the bottom, and be able to get into your iMovie. If you haven't gotten it, you can get it off the self-serve, but what we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. You can see my clothes that I use for my YouTube videos for the high notes, which I use a lot of stuff that I make for school on the high notes and vice versa. You're going to want to create a movie, okay? So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to import your media, okay? Let me see. Can I sit up here and be in the front? I guess not. Okay, let me do this so you can see that I am here. I'm not going away anywhere. I am up in the corner. Can I scooch it back a little more? I think that's it. I can move it over a little. There we go. Okay. So, import media. Now you're going to look for the media that you've created to put in here. So I have several little videos that I created to put together in this training. And so I'm going to import selected, and all of them are waiting to go in. Now I know that this is my first one, and so I am going to drop it in there, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit on my settings so that I can see where I stop talking, and I'm going to move across a little bit. Now this is just a basic that I'm putting together here. When you pull a video in, you can see the little waveform down here on the audio. I'm going to just click it. This is the fast, easy way of adjusting your video and audio. See this little magic tool up here? Automatically improve the video and audio quality. So it's going to automatically improve it. Now I usually still want the audio a little higher ups, and I usually go to at least like for some reason 264 and 248 are the closest you're going to get to 250, so I'll bump it up to 264. And I know that at the end of this clip, I'm going to walk toward the screen and turn it off. So I'm not going to want to see that before this next video starts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit transitions, and it's a good idea to do a wipe left, and I'm going to drop them between the two videos. Now you can adjust the timing of how long it takes. 1 second is going to work really well here, so I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm going to back this up just a little so that all you're going to see, and I'm going to hit play. Them extra with video. So without further ado, here we go. One more thing I still saw a little bit of that in there, so I'm going to back it up just a little more. Let's see if that does it. Back it up just a hair more. And let's see. One more thing. Okay, I still had a little bit in there, so I'm going to back it up a little bit more. Let's see. With video. So, without further ado, here we go. One more thing I forgot to say, and then I went too far. So sometimes you got to do a little maneuvering, and you'll find just engage them spot. Extra with and video. So you'll get your bore yourself doing this. Here we go. Bore you one more thing I forgot to say. Okay. Now notice the difference. Watching this, notice the difference in the coloring and the sound between this video now, because I've already done a little magic tool to it. One more thing I forgot to say. See how the color is not as vibrant? So what you're going to do now is select that new video that you've just dropped in and hit this little magic tool, and it's going to make it look better. Click the little audio button here, and you're going to raise that up to the same level of audio, the 264, because it doesn't go automatically to 250. It goes from 248 to 264. I don't know why, but that's iMovie. Okay, so then you're going to go back to your media, because you're going to have a new thing come in. Now, I am moving to another style of video, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that same transition I just used in between those two. Watch to see if I start to go to pause. There's another benefit. It shows it. If it does, I'm going to roll it back a little bit, because sometimes you'll lose just a few hair, or just a few little bit of video for the transition. Not there. There's another benefit. And hopefully it'll cover up what you did, but I didn't take enough. Okay, so let's see that again. I know this is the boring part of it. There's another benefit. Doing it is catching those little spots. So for the basics of everything. Now notice I'm going to have to do this lovely image there that I stopped myself here. You're going to do the little tool. Boop. It fixes the color. It fixes the lighting a little bit, and then I'm going to bump it up to that 264, and then now in this little, you've already seen this actually, because this is I'm recording this after I already did that. You've seen that. So I'm going to now use the swap, because I'm showing you something that I'm swapping audio from one thing to another as my transition. So this is the swap, and then I'm going to go in and put the no microphone audio in there, and so you'll see it's really cute how that works out. When I have my external microphones plugged in, and this is what it sounds like when I don't have my external. It's nice to be able to use. It's nice to be able to use the transition that best works with the video you're working on. Now I'm going to click that. I'm going to hit the little button. I'm going to fix my audio. One more little lip. Doop. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to make the transition for my next clip of video. Okay. And I'm just going to go back to well, since I'll go back to the wipe. Okay. No, I'll do the swap. I'll do the swap because the swap I'm going to a different style of video, and I say at the end of that, let's go back to that. So it looks, let's get back to that. Okay. So this is what I'm actually seeing. Okay. So, and then I'm going to do the same thing now that I've dropped this video in, magic little thingy, and fix my audio so that everything fits the same thing. Okay, so that is how you've, now I haven't put anything else in there, and I'm still editing this, but you have a finished video pretty much right here. What you're going to need to do is, whenever you've completed your simple video, you're going to hit this little button here. And I'm going to show you what that does. What I do is I prepare it as a file. That way I'm not sending it directly to something else. I will already have the file, and I can choose where I upload it. So I'm going to hit File, and I will rename this. I'm going to put Test 1, because this is just the portion of the video that it looks like I'm flipping off or something up there. It looks like I'm doing something bad, but I'm not. But this is just me showing you how to do the simple video. Once you've completed your little video, you can just hit next. You can even do a little fade to black transition at the end so it looks nice and clean at the end. I'm not going to worry about doing that because I'm going to continue with this video in a second. So I just want you to see up here in the corner, right below my lips, okay, you're going to see that this starts to move like a little clock, and don't try to open those because it's not ready yet. When it is ready, it's going to look something like this, okay? So you're going to watch this little thing right here, this circle. As it gets parts of your video completed and rendered, it's going to give you little pie pieces, like see? It's almost like a pie chart, and it shows you how much is done. We'll stick here for just a second, and I'll stop this portion of the video so that you're not going to sit here bored watching this, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it is completed. But you're going to see it goes a little bit more until the whole circle will be filled in white. Then it's going to tell you that your project is finished sharing. Until then, I will stop this and we'll get back to it in a second. Okay, so you can see it's almost done. And now, whenever it does get done, we will be able to open it up and just play it like a regular video. And you can upload this anywhere you want to. I've got kids outside my window, so they've got me distracted. They're playing with a ball outside my window. And now you'll see this will be the indicator that you get. Share successful. Okay, so you can hit close. And now notice I have test part 1, and it looks just like what I see, except it doesn't say MOV on the back side because that's what QuickTime says. Okay, so now I've already finished what this part that we were just talking about. I'm going to add that to this video. So I'm going to scroll to the end, and that is where we're going to start talking about the simple edit. So I need to have that in my project, but my little button has gone away of importing. This is where your button goes now. So import video. Now I've named it so I know where it is, simple edit part, and that's the screen that I was just using. So now it has been added to my available project thing, and so now it is being added to the video. And I'm just going to do I'm going to do a wipe left. But I'm going to shorten the time frame on this. I'm going to tighten it up to 0.5, so it's half of a second. And notice it adjusted it from this video rather than the other. Okay, so I'm going to hit play, or you can use the button as a stop button. Not the stop button, but you can use the space bar in order to do that. My brain has gotten tired. So I have my edit that I've just given to you guys there, and I'm going to do the same thing that I've done with the other ones. I click on it, I hit the little magic thing, it makes it look better, and I'm going to boost my audio back up. So same thing there. Now, if you want to create an open, this is where you're going to go. In order to create your open, you're going to add video in right here. So you're going to need to do a background, and there's lots of options. You can do background colors. I use the blobs as my YouTube one, but you can also use like a gradient. There's stars, industrial, pinstripes. You have several options here of just colors. You can also use an image or something like that you can find on the internet. Let's do retro or paper that doesn't look like paper to me. I'm just going to go with retro. Let's go with retro, and we're going to put that at the front part of our video so that it'll transition into it. Okay, now it says it's only 4 seconds long, so we're gonna lengthen it to about 6 seconds. Okay, but that's boring. We're gonna need a title. So let's pull up titles, and you can see what the title is gonna do. That one's gonna expand. This one is gonna expand on the lower corner. This one will kind of float towards you. This one is just a standard. So you can see how that's going to look on your screen. And I kind of like the little focus one, so I'm going to take that and drop that at the beginning of this little spot. Okay, and I have to click on it to title my text. Okay, so I'm going to click on it, and I will title Tech Camp Video Production. And I'm going to space that enough that it'll go there. Okay, then I'm going to hit enter, and it will show. Well, it didn't do it right. So sometimes you have to fiddle with it to make it go where you want it to go. Okay, now it's going to look like what I want it to go. So I'm going to hit play and see how it's going to look. No, I didn't mean to do that. Close the precision. Okay, just hit play, and there we go. And notice I didn't put a transition, so I just kind of pop up there. So what I'll like to do is add a transition, and I'll do like a cross dissolve, and I'm going to shorten the duration because that duration takes it seems like it wouldn't be long as 1 second, but it does take forever to do that. So now we're going to watch it again, see that it works out good, and notice it's not starting where I want it to, so I'm going to start it back here. There we go. Hi. And then if you're here, you have got an interest. It lasted just a little too long without the thing on there, so I'm going to bump that to the edge. And now, boring part, hit it again. You got to keep watching. Hi. Okay. If you're here, you have got an interest in using video. I am now going to go and pick some music to go with what I do. And what you do is, I'm going to choose audio, and I'm going to go into sound effects. Eventually it will pop up. There we go. It does tend to pop up, and you're going to search through these. You'll play this glide short is what I use. I use this last right here on as my little open and close for my YouTube channel, the high notes. So what I'm going to do here is I'll listen to all these different little clips. I can't listen to it with my microphone plugged in. So what I'm going to have to do is take my microphone out, so the audio is not going to be good for just a second here, because it's not going to have the higher quality. I cannot hear with that plugged in. But let's listen. Okay. That's kind of kitschy. Okay, so I think I'm going to use that one. Let's see, buddy. Okay, so I do like the little carousel thing, but it's a little too long. So when I put it here, I'm going to zoom it back. And right here, I'm going to take it to, not that. I'm going to have it, hold on. I took too much of this off. I'm going to pull this back so it'll fade out while I'm talking. So it's going to have a long fade. I'm going to shorten this a little. Okay, so let's listen to how that sounds. Hi. If you're here, you have got an interest in using video production. It's still a little too long, so I'm going to start from there. Let's try it again. And now, hi. If you're here, you have got an interest in using video production. Very good. I still don't think it's perfect. I'm going to zoom it just a little bit back, and I'm going to do some tweaking, but that's how you create yourself an open. You do the same thing to create a close, and you want it to look like bookends. So now I'm not actually going to use this one because I still have more stuff to put on here, but I'll show you how I do my little I throw my transition here for the cross dissolve. I shorten that transition. I shorten it on the back side too, so it doesn't take up too much time. And then I will do the same thing. I'll use that same background, the retro, and I'm going to use that same audio. Okay, come on. It didn't want to come with me. Oh, it's because I did something here. Hold on. When you select it and just select a portion, it'll choose that amount to go for your audio. That's another little trick. Now I'm going to zoom it back a little. Well, I'll zoom it out this way, and then I will let it fade across it just like I did the other. I'll make this go a little longer. And I'm going to do a fade out, transitions, a fade to black at the end so that it will move nicely. And then I'm going to use a title. I'll go ahead and use the focus title because that's what I used the first time. So might as well make it look like the other one. Make it go the length of my, you got to take it and kind of drag the back end of it out. And then click in it and type. You can type, "Thank you for watching." And there you go. You've got yourself an open and a close. And let's see how it transitions from. Now I'm going to have to put stuff in the middle here because I've got some more editing to finish on this. But let me get it here. We'll watch this.
Until then, I will stop this and we'll get back to it in a second.
And now there's an open and a close. So there we go. Now we will work on a few other things. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to create an image playback. I'm going to take you to a couple of websites that I know that gives you good video content to be able to use good image content. Pixabay and Unsplash. Pixabay, it's spelled Pixabay, and then Unsplash, you can see up there. So unsplash.com is where we're going to go, and I am just going to look for happiness. So images of happiness. I like these, so there's several I'm gonna download. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the little button, and then you just click exit on that. Okay, we're just gonna take a few of these because we're gonna create a little video from our images that we're downloading. This one you have to see ads in order to be able to see. What you're downloading. And he looks happy. You would expect him to look happy though, because you know we're looking for happiness here. I like the little dandelion. Okay, we'll take all those. Maybe one more. Oh, she looks happy. We'll go with her. She looks. See, she's having a great time. Okay, now we're going to take those images, and we are going to back into our iMovie, and we're going to create a new movie. So what we're going to do is, in order to add these pictures in, we are going to hit that button there. And we're going to go to downloads because that was where we just got those. And we're going to command and click all those different pictures that we just downloaded. Okay? And then import selected. Now, all of those, they count them as like 10 seconds long. So we are going to add these. I'm going to collect them all here and drag and drop them. Okay, and so it is going to give us a slideshow of all these happy images. Okay, so now what we'll need to do is find some audio that's going to sound good with this particular thing. Another place that we can go for that audio is royalty-free music by Bensound. So bensound.com, and they have a lot of very happy pieces of music, I know for sure. So in fact, that Happy Rock is a very nice piece of music, so I'm going to download that one. And notice you have two options. You can choose this. You can't use them in an audio podcast or anything like that. You can't make a song, no music remix. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to download that and then just exit out of that, and it's downloading right now. And I can use that or some of those sounds that I just showed you that are already preloaded inside of your amazing iMovie. In the meantime, without that, I am going to use that other piece of music, and it's in my downloads since I just downloaded it there. Bensound, Happy Rock. I'm going to import the selected. And notice it shows up like this. Now I'm going to put that on top, or I can do it on the bottom. It doesn't really matter. And I can shorten it. Shorten the whole length of it to where it'll kind of fade out at the end. And you can do an open and a close and all those things that I've already shown you in the video so far. So what does this look like when we hit play? Here we go. Notice, I forgot something that I needed to show you. I needed to put a fade to black transition at the end, and I also did a fade out on the music, but I had done it a little too far because I couldn't hear what I was doing, because when this microphone is plugged in I can't hear it. So that fixes that little ending where it didn't sound like it had any music at the ending. So that music starts to fade right here, and it fades out to a black right there. And so now it looks more like a completed video when you do it that way. Okay, so now we are going to do a trailer. So you're going to go back into your iMovie, hit Create New, and you're going to you can use video, but this is something you can also do with images. So hit Trailer, and it's going to pull up all these different options that you can create a trailer from. And these are really fun to be able to use with your students to create videos about projects and things like that you've got going in the classroom. I'm going to use this teen one because I'm going to kind of base it on a classroom kind of thing. And so instead of saying summer's here, we're going to say school days. Let's do school days like that. Okay, we're not going to worry about all the cast and all that. So the storyboard, you click on storyboard and it's going to do different things. So what you're going to do is you're going to add media for each of these things. So I'm going to hit import media, and I'm going to go to my downloads, and I have fixed my downloads to only things that would work pretty well for this. I went back to Upsplash and got these. Upsplash has some really great pictures. I've gotten some really good things from Pixabay as well, but Upsplash is a new thing, a new site that I have found, and their images, there's so many professional looking video pictures and things like that in there that I have just fallen in love with the stuff that can be used from that. I'm going to use that there, and then we're going to change that to schools in, okay, and then we'll put a couple of things in here. I'm going to put couple of images, and then we will I'm going to drag and drop some images. It may not even make much sense because I'm going to just throw in some different imagery, and I can reuse them if I want to. Oh, I don't want to use that one. Let me use this one. The little shocked looking kid. Okay, there we go. Although he can't be Anne. Let's swap those. Okay, now move you there, and then move this here, and there we go. And then it's a lot of work, and we're going to change out what that's going to look like. Tiring work, because we are all so tired at this point. And then the fun too. And let me see. I know I've got that happiness kid in here, and he's looking really happy. So we'll throw that in there. And then we get to learn. And let's throw in love to learn there. Okay. So I'm not going to finish this, but now you can look from the beginning, and I'll increase the size here so you can see what it's going to look like. And this is all pre-done. All you have to do is just drop what you want in there. So notice I didn't finish anything else, but I hope you can see where that can be a really great thing to use with your students, because you can change the storyline. It's going to give you a shot list of the images that you need, and so you can just fill it in on the shot list, you can fill it in on the storyboard, and you can change what the words say, and you can create this very amazing project that looks like you've done just something really special, and you really haven't done that much to create something really, really nice. So I hope that's something that you all want to play with this coming year with your students. Since I'm having some buzz in my microphone, I'm going to do this without using the extra microphone, but I'm going to show you how to do a little special effects project. Now, I found both of the footages that I'm about to upload on a website called videasy.com. And what I'm going to do is show you how you can do a green screen effect. That you can have something happen and add it to the video. Okay, so this is a nice couple taking a little walk, and I'm going to add to it a heart being shaped over them. But notice, as of right now, it just kind of took over the video. It's because it's saying cutaway. When you layer that other video on top, it's going to pop up this little option here. You need to click and go down to green or blue screen in order to be able to do this. And notice, now you can see that it's right here. So, it now shows over the other video. But there's a little problem. It hangs over their face a little too long. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and hit in my editing up here, hit modify. You have to make sure that that's the clip that you have selected. It has the yellow bar around it, so you know that that's the one you're doing. Hit modify and hit fast forward. And I think about 8 times works pretty good. And so you get this quick feature of a heart going around them while they're taking a little walk. And it's before it kind of goes over their face. So, hold on. Stop doing it. Okay, let me show you what it looks like. Instead of having it just show straight up right there. No, I don't want that. I want to move it up a little bit. Okay, so let's go to the very beginning of the video, and then let's make it big so we can see what it looks like. And so that's now what it looks like at the beginning. So let's watch that again. Go all the way to the beginning and hit play. And so now you have a special effect that layered over the video. And so that is how you do a little green screen. You find green screen. I did romance, and I found the heart. I was thinking maybe Cupid could be in there, but I couldn't find one. I also didn't want to spend an hour looking for it, but that is how you do that. Now in a minute, I'm going to show you how to do split screen.
So now here's how you do a video where you do a split screen with yourself. Why would they want to know how to do that? Because. Why? Because you might want to do a video where you talk to yourself. Well, sometimes you need somebody to talk to or to show how not to be. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to ignore you now because the nice people there want to see how I did this.
Okay, so now we are going to work on, I'm going to show you how to do a split screen where you've got a good you and a bad you. You're going to go back into your wonderful iMovie program and create new, okay? Now, when you are creating one of these videos, you are going to need, I'll pop myself back up in the front here, you're going to need to have your video in such a way that you have your camera in one place and the video quality has to stay the same. So you try to shoot it all at the same time. Your lighting and your color needs to be as the same as possible. You also need to make sure that you don't move your camera at all, because if your camera moves, then you're not going to be able to adjust to a kind of a pretty perfect place. So I've already done the video part. I set my camera up on a tripod, and I put a little mark on the floor where I would know where to hit my spot to be able to do my lines and everything. And I had something for my good version of me to say, and then something for my bad version of me to say. Okay, so you're going to import your media. And I have both pieces of video right here. And then one of them is going to be the main video, and then the other one is going to be the one that you're going to adjust. Okay, so I know that I walk into the frame on this, and I need to start it about there. Okay, so I know that this video needs to start about here, and then I'm going to take the bad version of me and drop me on top here. Okay, and notice one is a little longer than the other. I know that it syncs up okay if I do it from here. And let me, right there. Now, what I need to do is select both videos, and I'm going to do my enhance. I see that one, yeah, have them both be the same thing. Okay, my audio, I want it to be about at that 250 point, so you could do 264 is fine. Okay, now this one is going to be our one that is going to be the video overlay. What we're going to do is blue screen. Okay, now how we do that is we're going to take this side and put it over here. You see these little points? I'm going to move it in, because when I start to move this, you're going to see that I'm standing there. And you need to find a spot that it's not going to be that noticeable. And you need to make sure that both sides equal out pretty well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it break right there. And watching the video from that point, you'll see that it plays together. So let me widen it and hit play.
So now here's how you do a video where
Hold on.
you do a split screen.
It's having a
with
little
yourself.
hard time here.
Why would they want to know how to do that?
It needs to reset itself here for a second, because sometimes it's a lot of video going on here, and you only have so much CPU power. Okay, let's try this again.
So now here's how you do a video where you do a split screen with yourself. Why would they want to know how to do that?
Now I already can see that I need to adjust here. I need to move this back a little bit and probably go here, because it'll be less noticeable here than it is up here.
Sometimes you need somebody to talk to or to show how not to be. Okay. Yeah.
So, since I know that is the problem there, I'm going to go back to that top video, and I'm going to slide my spot out here, my overlay settings, and I'm going to slide it back out a little to the edge of the the Promethean board, because the Promethean board, it's showing too much on the edge. So I'm going to need to slide this over a little bit. Now the only thing that's really going to be seen is probably the noticeable part. Where it's going to be noticeable is going to be right here, because it's not a perfect crossover right there. But the coloring is just a little off between the two, but that'll show that'll show better. So let's go ahead and hit play.
Video where you do a split screen with yourself.
And let's see if it shows less.
Why would they want to know how to do that?
Because you don't see it as much up here.
Why?
You can catch it right here.
You might want to do a video where
but everything else is pretty close.
Well, sometimes you need somebody to talk to.
Now, whenever you're doing this, make sure that I think I may have already said this though, your camera is at the right spot and everything, and the lighting, because it is going to have a bit of a difference. So what I'm going to do is, so that the difference isn't quite as noticeable, let me see if I can give it a color shift here that'll make it look a little more like the other one, because one seems a little blander than the other. Let me throw a little extra blue in there. Between the two, I might be able to get it smooth enough that you can't tell the colors are off. I can make it really blue and then come back from that. Okay, and then let's take it down a little bit and then bring it back up. and try to find the more vibrant color so that it'll blend better. And it looks like I may need some more black undertones. Let's see how that looks on the big.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a little too pink.
Well, I'm going to ignore you now.
It's a little
Because
too
the
much.
nice people there.
It's a little too
Wanna
much
see how
now. So I'm going to put a little bit of this back. Let's see it big.
See how I did this.
Okay. It's still noticeable right in here, but I don't think it's quite as bad as what it was in the beginning. So let me hit from the beginning. We'll take a look at it.
So now here's how you do a video where you do a split screen with yourself. Why would you want to know how to do that? Because. Why?
Okay. So I know that it's working really hard right now, so it's not wanting to stay all together. I've done a lot of video on this machine today, and so it's kind of struggling a little bit. But that is how, and then of course you're going to hit this button right here in order to share. You'll save it as a file, and you'll be able to put it wherever you want to. So there you go. You're able to do a split screen, and you've got a good you and a bad you, or you can have lots of other things that you can do with that. But that is a really fun thing to be able to do. It does take some work to be able to look. You have to make sure that you're looking approximation of where you think you're going to be standing, so that whenever you're reacting, you're not like reacting way off here and you actually are standing over here. So you've got to look about your sight lines and things like that. But frankly, I don't think the kids are they're going to be so cooled out by the fact that you are both two of you on the screen that they're going to think it's awesome. So there's some special effects that you can do with your video production. And if you have any questions or anything like that, shoot me an email. Betty, I was about to give you my non-school email. It's betty.hyman at our usual lownsk12ms.us. Okay, so everybody have a great day.